little wheel down to 0.
Here at the Andrew Scoggin Band Coliseum in Lewiston, Maine, where we kick things off tonight in the 115-pound weight class between Sarah Ziehm and BJ Garceau. BJ Garceau is wearing the solid black trunks with shirt. Sarah Ziehm is also wearing all solid black, but her midriff is showing. That's how we will differentiate the two fighters. We've seen Sarah Ziehm before. We are seeing BJ Garceau for the first time. Fred, they come from well-respected camps here in Maine. BJ from Young's MMA, Sarah from CMBJJ. What do you know about both these fighters and their camps as BJ Garceau
going for the finish right now?
Yeah, she was a ball of energy coming out.
So essentially, we got two well-respected schools here. We've got well-known opponents. It's going to be a great fight. BJ's taking it to her right now. BJ's looking for a finish.
For a girl that comes from a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu school, she is
hanging
fist
in there.
of fury right now. She's getting it done standing up, and for a moment I saw Sarah Ziehm turning her back, seemingly wanting nothing more with the engagement, but now she's clinching, bringing her body closer to BJ's and stopping the fist of fury that we saw coming from the 115-pound girl.
We're definitely seeing a little bit of composure from Sarah. That was a hell of a way to start off the first minute and a half of competition. But she's doing an excellent job of staying focused, staying in the pocket. You're seeing BJ here on the cage trying to cut the corner as she just did. She's laying it on. She's trying to go for that finish right here in the first round.
BJ Garceau taking this fight in honor of all those who suffer from diabetes as she does. She's saying, you know what, I don't suffer from diabetes, I conquer it. And here she is in the cage tonight, having herself a pretty good opening round against Sarah Ziehm.
I would agree. She's putting great pressure. She's taking control of the cage, and she's laying it on here. She's leaving it all for nothing.
Referee Steve Rita taking a good look at the action as some blood trickling from the nose of Sarah Ziehm.
BJ needs to cut the corner here. She doesn't want to be pressed up against the cage as she's had such a dominant first round. Just giving Sarah here a chance to recompose the round and maybe give the judges something to look at on her behalf.
Now, you mentioned the word composure in regards to Sarah Ziehm early on as she had the onslaught of offense courtesy of BJ Garceau, which she was able to take. She herself is essentially a novice amateur. We've only seen her once here in NEF to my recollection. BJ was seeing for the first time. But nevertheless, you like the way she has presence in there despite the fact that she is also a novice.
Absolutely. She has been in this cage before. She's fought in front of this crowd before. So I feel like there is some degree degree of familiarity that goes with that. And, you know, that's the advantage for Sarah. You know, she's been here before. She's gone through the weight cut. She's done all the due diligence. This is BJ's first time out there, and there's really no way to judge how the nerves are going to affect a fighter first time getting out in front of this wonderful crowd here in Lewiston. You know, the lights will hit you, the nerves will take over right away.
And I'll say this, I see breathing out the mouth courtesy of BJ Garceau here in the closing seconds of round one. Is there a chance that she blew her load in the early goings? As a nice right hand is landed by Sarah Ziehm to punctuate round one. BJ Garceau going to get round one on my scorecard due to her early success, but Sarah Ziehm really finished that round strong. A nice right hand, which had BJ stunned. Yeah,
this is a very exciting first fight of the night, let me tell you what.
We'll take a look at some of the action from round one.
Look at this replay. We got BJ here taking control of that cage, laying an onslaught early on, trying to make a statement early on. I like that. You got to respect, you know, her first time coming out here, going out there and just laying it all out. It's sometimes, very often you see fighters in their first time out here just freezing or having that blank insecurity to go with their preparation and training. This is not what we're seeing tonight. These girls are putting on one hell of a show for us here in Lewiston.
Let's talk about a higher level of mixed martial arts that took place about a decade ago between an experienced fighter and a fighter with less experience. Forrest Griffin's first fight against Tito Ortiz. Tito Ortiz came out that first round and was landing elbow after elbow after elbow on the verge of stopping Forrest Griffin. Griffin remained composed, finished that round strong, and in my opinion actually won rounds 2 and 3 despite the fact he lost a split decision. I'm seeing some correlations to that fight and this one. It just popped in my head as I'm watching it.
You know, I would have to agree with you. You know, even though he lost the fight via decision, at the same time, what he didn't lose is the respect. He earned quite a bit of admiration, and he made some noise in the UFC early on.
In that first round, he took Tito at his nastiest and said, "That's all you got, I'm still standing." Could that be the case with Sarah Ziehm here in round 2 against PJ Garceau?
Maybe. This is an excellent start to round 2. You know, we've got some good stand and bang. Now we've got a little cage work here. BJ looking to cut that corner again as she was able to do effectively in the first round. Sarah now keeping the pressure on, and oh, there we go. Yep, Sarah definitely looking to keep it where she is more comfortable, and that is most certainly in the grappling aspect of this competition.
Yeah, when there was distance between the two fighters early on in round 1, a lot of stand-up coming courtesy of BJ. She wasn't getting a lot of leverage on those punches, but they were coming fast and coming often and landing often, as it looks like she's trying to get Sarah Ziehm in some sort of guillotine here.
Yes, unfortunately, that guillotine proved unsuccessful. BJ giving up her back right here. This could be a very dangerous situation. She's going to look to stand up here immediately.
And it was weird that BJ got the better of the stand-up in round 1 because she comes from BJJ school. I consider Young's MMA. You know what? Take everything back. I was confused.
It happens. We're in the middle of an excellent fight. It's easy to happen. BJ's got to fight that off. You know, you do not want to get that across your neck. BJ doing a good job here.
Choke. This is a bad predicament to be in your opening fight.
Right, absolutely. She's got to fight through this right here. She's got to get her head out from underneath. She can't let her keep control of her head like that. She's going to be able to position a crank. Attaboy, BJ. She gets right out of there.
Sarah Ziehm trying to get her back into it, however, but BJ doing a good job creating space.
Oh, we've got full mount here taken by Sarah. We've got 55 seconds left in the opening round, or second round of the night. Excellent display here by both of these girls. This has been exciting and fast-paced the whole entire time.
BJ able to get top position, but it looks like Sarah's going to pull guard and pull her very close to her, not allow her to have any distance to get off any damage.
With 30 seconds left here in the end of the second round, BJ's got to take top control here and lay some ground and pound, establish herself for the second round.
I like the way that Sarah is defending herself from the floor. None of those punches are landing.
No. Oh, their last few there, but you're right. This is really just a great second round. These ladies are putting on a show.
So if round 1 was conclusively around for BJ Garceau. Round 2, a bit more competitive. I give it to Sarah on my card, but I wouldn't argue either way.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to have to give it to BJ just by how the way the round ended. You know, also, you know, she is my teammate. I've absolutely got a bias. I'm not sitting here to hide that.
See, I'm giving it to Sarah for actually going with the submissions and for a while working a rear naked choke that I thought at one point she was going to sink in.
No, definitely. You bring up some great points, and at the end of the day, you know, Sarah had a great effort there. The way the first round started, come out here for round 2, still shows she's in this fight. We're in the middle of a great, great opening round tonight.
Solid opening bout here at the Androscoggin Bank Coliseum in Lewiston, Maine. Still to come later on tonight in the professional ranks, the return of former NEF lightweight champion Bruce Boyington as he takes on Taylor Trahan, and also the grudge match between Jesse the Viking Erickson and Mike Hansen, amongst many others we'll have for you throughout the evening here on New England Fights as both of these ladies come out for round number 3. And I think that it's safe to say that both girls need round 3. Nice right hand to begin the round, courtesy of Ziehm. You talked earlier about the nervous energy coming out for your debut. Have you sensed that BJ was a ball full of energy in round 1 and her energy has subsided in 2 and now in round 3?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, she's calmed down a little bit, but, you know, that was what I was talking about a little bit, is there's no way to really prepare for the adrenaline that hits you when the lights are on. When you walk out that tunnel for the first time, when they yell, they call your name, it is a feeling unlike anything else, and you can't really prepare for it. And the only thing that makes you more comfortable is doing it over and over and over again.
Sarah Ziehm going for a single leg takedown.
I like BJ's stuff there right now. She is on her knee, but she is getting up adequately. She's going to go for a hip toss here, it looks like. She's going to want to have to whiz her and get that across. BJ reaching over the top of the head here. Now we see her digging for a whizzer up against the cage. You got to like how she's staying right there in the pocket. Sarah putting that pressure on.
Sarah must have expended a lot of energy going for that takedown as she had one leg of BJ, and BJ was just keeping her balanced and drilling her with some right hands.
Yeah, that was an excellent display of stopping the single leg, you know. First thing, you got to keep your composure and you got to stay in the pocket while someone is trying to take you down. BJ laying it on here, going for the finish up against the cage. Sarah's covering up, throwing the right hand. As the exchange dies off here, Sarah's taking cage control. BJ is looking to whizzer hard again and try to regain cage side control.
So I gave BJ round 1 on my scorecard. Round 2 I gave to Sarah. Here in round 3, I think that in spurts of fighting, BJ is getting the better of the two. I think that Sarah Ziehm, her attempts at takedowns and attempts at clinching and keeping this close, it's minimizing some of the offense that could be coming from BJ, but it's not really scoring anything for her.
You know what, I agree with you. If I'm BJ, I'm looking to separate myself from this clinch here up against the cage and really continue to strike and show where I've been dominant early on. You know, BJ maybe not putting a lot on all these punches, but that's an awful lot of volume, and that type of volume to deal with is an awful lot of pressure, and if she can continue to do this, she might have herself her first finish and her first win in her amateur career.
It's been an elusive takedown effect.
We got 10 seconds left. We got to take down Ziehm. Fight's over.
Good opening scrap between BJ Garceau and Sarah Ziehm to kick things off tonight at the Androscoggin Bank Coliseum in Lewiston, Maine. Both girls have a lot to be proud of as they put forth a great performance to kick things off. I think BJ Garceau gets the nod on my scorecard, 2 rounds to 1, winning rounds 1 and 3, but it was very competitive and very close.
Now, Peter, I'm going to have to completely agree with you, but we're going to see how the judges scored this one.
We'll have the judges' verdict momentarily. Stick with us here on New England Fights.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about a round of applause for both these girls? We go with the judges' scorecards after 3 hard-fought rounds, and we have a split decision. Judge Shawn sees the fight 29-28 for Garceau. Judge Alan Lau sees the fight 29-28 for Ziehm. And Judge Bill McKinnon has your deciding scorecard. Sees the fight 29-28 for your winner via split decision. Making a successful mixed martial arts debut tonight.
Garceau, ladies and gentlemen, takes home her first mixed martial arts amateur victory here tonight. Excellent opening bout of the evening. Ziehm, BJ, excellent effort, excellent display of good sportsmanship. That's just what you want to see in your first round of the night.
Introducing first fighting out of the blue corner trailer. He comes to us from Berserkers and a man. Ladies and gentlemen, Therrien. And his opposition standing directly across the cage, fighting out of the red corner trailer. He trains with Evolution Athletics. Ladies and gentlemen, Mohammad Kenney.
Evening, a catchweight contest under the auspice of the welterweight division. Therrien and Mohammad Kinani. Kinani is wearing the multicolored trunks. Therrien is wearing the solid black trunks, and it is Mohammad Kinani landing some nice right hands to begin the round. Therrien going for the single leg takedown. He's going to complete that takedown as we have a furious first round between these two welterweights. And I think you can see from the get-go, Isaac is the wrestler. Mohammad wants to keep this standing up. Fair assessment so far?
I mean, based on what we've seen here in the opening minute and a half, I mean, Kinani is laying a little bit of a striking onslaught. Looks like a little bit more of a well-rounded experience here from Mohammad. He is very comfortable once Isaac's able to secure this takedown. Kinani starts working right away and is able to strike effectively. He is staying right in the pocket. Isaac is really just kind of going for broke on that takedown. Excellent effort from both. Kinani is taking control of this first round, in my opinion, Peter.
Kinani taking control after he's been to the floor 3 times. He's going for a 4th takedown. Interestingly, he's taken Kinani down 3 times, but Kinani's always found a way to pop back up very quickly. He hasn't been able to keep him on the floor, which is probably where he wants to keep him as a wrestler.
I mean, his ability to break and strike and just maintain the distance that he wants to do what he is effectively trying to do. I'm seeing that Mohammad's a little bit more advanced, maybe a tad bit more experienced in this regard. Isaac, though, what an effort. I mean, he has got a blistering double leg takedown, ends up with a single leg a couple times there, able to complete with almost 100% percentage. Interesting.
After a furious opening minute to this fight,
that's a right hand and a half right there. He's hitting him with everything but the kitchen sink.
Isaac
this fight's
turning
just
his back.
over.
Steve Rita's got to stop.
Rita calls an end to this fight here.
Yeah, whenever a fighter turns his back to his opponent, I think that a referee's got to step in immediately and call a halt to the action. Mohammad Kinani with a first-round stoppage win over Therrien. We'll get the official particulars of the stoppage momentarily.
Round number 1. The referee Steve Rita calls this contest due to tapping due to strikes. Your winner via first round stoppage, Mohammad Kinani. Ladies and gentlemen, our first contest of the evening is brought to you by Battle Wounds Apparel. Make sure you get your Battle Wounds Apparel signed here at the Jayda shopping and Carlton. This fight is scheduled for 3 rounds in the lightweight division. Introducing first fighting out of the blue corner trailer. He trains with the Kenney and ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to me at Devin, Hart. And strong standing directly across the cage, fighting out of the red corner to my right. He trains with the other. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Stacy, Lupo.
between Stacy Lupo and David Hart. David Hart wearing the red trunks, Lupo wearing the black trunks, and Lupo with 2 left hands to begin round number 1. We've seen David Hart before.
Stacy's had one, I think, amateur fight, and you know, very experienced striker. You see him out there coming early. He's very confident, leaving his hands down, looking to try to assess the David Hart situation here. Stacy, nice leg kick, you know, taking David's attention away from the legs and getting him focused on his hands and landing a brutal tie kick. Nice head kick by Stacy, very comfortable here at distance. We see him switch stances here. David still feeling him out. I haven't seen a whole lot of offense. We've got a little bit of blood. You know, some guys, Peter, it takes them to open up, to a little cut to open them up and get them loose in the fight. Let them know they're in a fight. Oh, leg kick again. You could hear that one from here. Oh, Stacy with a very nice hook. Oh, he's caught him.
Knee to the body by Stacy Lupo, and your referee is going to step in, and it looks like that is it.
That is the call of the fight tonight. Stacy wins. That is a dominant first-round performance by Stacy Lupo, folks.
Beautiful one-shot knee to the body, knockout courtesy of Stacy Lupo.
Folks, it's a good thing David Hart is still okay. That was a rough way to end.
Ladies and gentlemen, in 140 seconds of round number 1, you have to go for the offense contest. Your winner will be a first-round TKO, Stacy Lupo. Professional sport of your choosing. Does this make the competitive juices flowing as you see the action we've seen thus far tonight here in Lewiston? Absolutely. I mean, that's how I just rock the ring like that. Ronnie, in your prime, could you have picked Max's ass?
Absolutely. Let's be serious about this. I'm very excited about being here because my first time seeing when you have this. This is so exciting! This is wonderful. I want to come back to another one into this because it's very, very exciting. And Matt, let me tell you something right now. No way, guys, no way.
Gentlemen, before I let you go, prediction for tomorrow night's game, Catie and Eagles Super Bowl. Pain for the Eagles. What did you concur?
I concur. We're going to put a line of pain on, and we're going to win. We're going to win. We're going to win.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time. Ronnie LePet, Max Lane, Catie right here in Lewiston. Tomorrow. Our fourth bout of the evening is scheduled for 3 rounds and a catchweight for both on the opposites of the light heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner to my left. He comes to us from the Charles fighting family and is known as a knockout artist. Ladies and gentlemen, Carlton Charles! And sitting directly across the stage, fighting out of the red corner to my right, an independent fighter, ladies and gentlemen, Delmarkis, Ewer. 3 rounds, light heavyweight division.
We've seen Carlton Charles end them quick and end them violently in the past. He's got Delmarkis Edwards opposite him here tonight in Lewiston. Interestingly, Carlton Charles came in about 15 pounds heavier, and Delmarkis Edwards had to rehydrate, and a couple of right hands from Carlton Charles, and it was fast and it was violent, Fred.
That was quick, man. I mean, This Delmarkis Edwards kid, I mean, he didn't have much of a chance, to be honest. I think he's undersized. I think that the lack of experience is definitely shown here. Valiant effort, absolutely, but Carlton Charles is just a physical specimen. You know, former Division I football player at the University of Maine. That kind of athleticism is hard to match in your first amateur fight. That's a tough break, tough draw. Carlton Charles, excellent performance.
Nice football thread throughout the evening. Ronnie Lepet and Max Lane here, and former University of Maine football standout Carlton Charles with a very quick knockout in our bout here in Lewiston.
It's funny you bring that up. How fitting that you bring out the former Patriots players right before the former cornerback. God, that is an ugly Cowboys hat on Coach Jason Bell's head, isn't it?
It absolutely
is. Gross. I thought this was New England. What happened here?
Will be in action later on tonight. We have a special guest joining us in the games right now. NEF will be returning to the Aura Nightclub in Portland on April 14th. And our first fighter that we would like to announce that will be featured that night back in the cage, Carolyn Powell, ladies and gentlemen. No opponent scheduled just yet, but how are you preparing for the fight and how much are you looking forward to being back in the NEF cage?
I've been preparing every single day. I recently had eye surgery because I lost my contacts in my last fight, so I want to make sure that does not happen again. And ever since then, I've been training 6 days a week, and I'm ready. I'm so much more prepared right now than I was when I stepped foot in the cage last time. So I'm ready to put on a good show and actually come out victorious this time.
The moral of the story is don't wear contacts when you're fighting, and come see her on April 14th at the Aura Nightclub. Thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, this next contest is scheduled for 3 rounds in the bantamweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner to my left. She trained to a team of first-class MMA. Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to Chelsea Elizabeth. And standing directly across the cage, fighting out of the red corner to my right. She comes to us from Young's MMA. Ladies and gentlemen, Devin.
Two popular young fighters with fan bases and attendance here tonight in Lewiston. Catie Denning taking on Chelsea Elizabeth. Chelsea Elizabeth with the midriff showing. Catie Denning, solid black.
Peter, if I do say so myself, what a great job you do announcing the fighters before the fight.
I appreciate that, Fred.
You deliver that with confidence.
I
you
try.
You can't teach that.
Nice.
Chelsea,
that was a nice
excellent
right hand by
Chelsea Elizabeth, I believe. That was nice. Catie with a nice knee and clinching in here up against the cage. I like that control. Both ladies with some excellent hair. Those are some cool hair braids. You know, you got to respect. That takes some time.
You got to respect good hair. You have to respect good fights.
Yes. Catie taking it to her. They separate off here. They're going to strike.
Both girls coming from well-respected camps in Maine. Chelsea Elizabeth from First Class MMA, run by John First Class Rayo, an NEF veteran and alum. And Catie Denning from Young's MMA.
You gotta love that. This is her first amateur mixed martial arts contest. She's had one kickboxing bout before, and she's been patiently awaiting her opportunity here. She's been training very hard for many years, and you know, she finally got the nod from Coach Chris Young to take her first amateur fight. She is very excited. I don't think she's looking to squander this opportunity.
Describe the process of being given the green light that, yes, you can actually compete inside the cage. You've trained enough.
Well, basically, you know, it's not something that you get overnight. You know, you put your time in training at the gym. You have a good attitude. You show that you're a person that's able to be humble through growth. And Coach Young evaluates all situations differently. Big right hand there. Chelsea Elizabeth with a takedown. Catie recomposing herself on the ground. She's looking to stand up here. She stands. She's got a double leg. We'll see if she's able to complete this reversal. Chelsea Elizabeth transitions to the back mount. She's looking for a rear naked choke. Catie looking to stand up here against the cage. Chelsea maintaining control for now.
It's been an interesting opening round. I would say the predicament that Catie Denning finds herself in currently, even though you can credit a takedown to Chelsea Elizabeth.
Oh, right hand by Catie Denning. She's throwing smoke. I'll tell you what, one thing that we can say about these ladies tonight, they are coming to throw down. They're not trying to win by decision. They're laying it all out there. This is incredible. Excellent first round.
So round one concludes, and both girls had their moments in that fight, Fred. But what I was saying about Catie Denning was the negative predicament she found herself in. You can credit Chelsea Elizabeth with a takedown, and rightfully so, but I think that as much of a takedown from Chelsea Elizabeth as it was Catie Denning was also just kind of falling.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Absolutely, but a takedown is a takedown, and you never know how a judge is going to score a particular occurrence. We're looking at the replay here. Big right hand from Catie. You know, the striking effort of Catie might be enough to negate that takedown, but like I said, Peter, we're never going to know how those judges score the card until another 6 minutes from now. But we can say that was an excellent first round for both of them.
I tend to agree with you that I give the nod to Catie Denning on my scorecard, but I actually can see it going either way. I just felt that Catie Denning inflicted more damage throughout round one.
Getting ready for round two coming up right now. Steve Rita, the referee.
And Denning just looking for that right hand.
Denning does not care about the striking effort. She is getting after it. Oh, wow. Excellent pressure by Catie. We're not seeing any first fight jitters out of Denning tonight. Nice jab, setting up the body shot. She is tearing her apart. Laying that pressure on early. Catie, that was a nice angle there. They go back to the center of the cage here. They're going to continue their striking battle. Catie cutting that corner, not allowing a takedown against the cage. Catie Denning looking to secure this takedown here in the second round. Trying to offset the balance that Chelsea was able to land that takedown in the first. Catie looking to even out here. She's got an underhook on the right side. Maintaining control here. They separate. Catie's throwing some strikes. Right hand again. Catie staying right in the pocket. Right hand again. Uppercut. Chelsea putting it in the cage there. Nice knee from Denning. Denning separating and putting her right back in the cage. You can hear Coach Young in the corner doing an excellent job of being detailed so that Catie knows exactly what to look for in terms of positions of control. Head position and knee. What he wants is for Catie to keep that pressure on Chelsea against the cage to set up her striking or a takedown. Excellent takedown attempt, stuffed. Nice knee followed up. Nice knee again. Chelsea with a single leg, puts Catie back in the cage. Catie separates and is striking with a purpose.
Yeah, Catie Denning has found a home for that right hand throughout the first 2 rounds of this fight.
Nice jab set up there. Standard 1-2, but you know what? It is effective, and Catie is throwing smoke here. closing in on the last seconds of the second round. Catie Denning with that underhook as she's had most of the round. Round over. What do you think, Peter? That was pretty exciting.
I've got Catie Denning ahead at 2 rounds to none on my card, but I like the resilience of Chelsea Elizabeth as we take a look at some of the action of round 2 here on our screen. And you see the right hand coming courtesy of Catie Denning repeatedly.
Peter, if you look to our right here, we've got a good chance to get a little insight on them.
Yeah, we can hear.
Keep messing with my microphone.
Seconds out as we begin the third and final round of this fight. I have to say, the 2 female fights we've seen so far tonight, first opening things up between BJ Garceau and Sarah Ziehm, and now Catie Denning and Chelsea Elizabeth, have really lived up to the billing for being all-action affairs.
Yeah, they're absolutely fighting with reckless abandon. It's been very exciting. There's been a lot of action. You know, these ladies are showing an awful lot of heart, and it's a great advancement in women's MMA.
I like what I saw from Chelsea Elizabeth coming
out.
out.
Oh, right hand again, Catie. Catie is throwing smoke, and she has found a home for that right hand. She's using a jab setup, getting her distracted, and then landing the right hand every time.
I liked how Chelsea Elizabeth came out immediately with that teep kick, trying to keep distance between her and opponent, but it seems like Catie Denning has found a way
finding the body as well. Catie is going high and low. A body shot again. Catie pressures her into the cage. She's looking to take control of the cage so that she can establish dominance for this third and final round. Very tactful and excellent execution of game plan. Coach Levi giving me some sass here from the Young's MMA corner, crediting the striking dominance of Catie Denning to the Thunder Pig Boxing Club, homed at Young's MMA. Gotta love Levi's ambitious statements. Catie Denning continuing to put the pressure on Chelsea Elizabeth here in the third and final round. She's got her up against the cage, maintaining cage control. She's got right side underhook, not doing anything with it as of right now, just maintaining position. Looks like the ladies are regaining some of their wind. This is an interesting matchup between First Class MMA and Young's MMA. We've had a recent rivalry between the two gyms, and it's always good to have continuation of said rivalry. Chelsea trying to sweep the leg of Catie and regain cage control. Catie is maintaining her position, not letting her move an inch. Might be looking at a takedown coming up, or maybe some more separating and striking. Oh, we've got a double leg. Catie Denning, 2 points. That is the way to close out the third round.
So Catie Denning was winning this fight thus far with her stand-up, punctuating the fight with a big takedown here with less than 30 seconds to go in the third and final round.
That is the way to dominate and get in the judges' heads right there, I'll tell you what. Hard to ignore that takedown. Looking to posture and strike. Catie Denning looking to posture and strike. 10 seconds left in the fight. Oh, full mount taken. Catie Denning.
Excellent effort by both girls in our 5th contest of the evening. Catie Denning and Chelsea Elizabeth putting it all on the line.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was a hell of a fight. Both of these girls putting it all on the line. We go to the general scorecards. Judge Larry Borson sees the fight 30-27. While Scott Mellon and Billy Kinani the fight 29-28. All for your winner via unanimous decision, Catie Denning. a department of the red camera. He comes to us from 3 Road Athletics. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Berube. 3 rounds.
Two big and athletic boys in the ring right now, Ryan Glover and Joe Berube. Glover wearing the green trunks, Berube wearing the solid black trunks. Berube seems to be a nervous ball of energy with some unorthodox techniques in his movement in the first 10 seconds of this fight. Glover very composed, lands a right hand, but Berube, a ball full of energy, getting the better of the action momentarily.
Yes, I mean, that's a whole lot of striking with a very nervous energy opening this first round here. Ryan Glover is going to be looking to weather that storm and set up his own barrage of strikes. This is our first light heavyweight bout of the evening. He secures the back of Berube. He's looking for a takedown. Glover looking to bull his way down. Both fighters looking to collect themselves here up against the cage. Ryan Glover looking for double underhooks here against the cage. Berube's digging a whizzer and looking for leg position so he can secure the corner and escape from the back of the cage. Oh, Ryan Glover, big knee. Big knee again. Glover attacking the body, looking for the finish. Double underhooks, looking for a takedown. Glover, pressure against the cage. Berube's going to be looking to secure his posture. He looks like he's attacking a guillotine choke with the arm in. Oh, Glover attacking the body.
You mentioned Joe.
Ryan Glover, heavy hands, uppercuts for days. He is throwing.
This looks like a hockey fight right now,
I was just
Fred.
going to say that. I feel like it's Russia versus the U.S.
We are at the Coliseum where they regularly play hockey. There's ice underneath this cage tonight.
That explains why it's so cold in here. My God. They separate here. They take the center.
Now, you mentioned that Glover would have to withstand the onslaught of offense from Berube to begin this fight. He's done that.
And Berube landing another good right hand, but Glover pressuring back into the cage. It appears to me with this first round that Glover is looking to secure control and maybe land a takedown, where Berube is looking to strike and keep distance. 10 seconds left in the opening round of this light heavyweight bout. Again with the uppercuts. Ryan Glover looking for the finish. Oh my goodness. I can't tell if Rita was waving the fight off or if that's the end of the first round. Looks like the end of the first round.
So an interesting first round. It was an onslaught of offense from the get-go from Berube. Ryan Glover was able to withstand the onslaught, as you said he would have to, and punctuates the round with some good right hands and does some good work in between as well, as we're taking a look at some of the trading that these men did amidst that first round.
Peter, I'm going to have to agree with you there. You know, Glover definitely withstood that early offense, was able to establish himself with those uppercuts repeatedly. I think that he was able to do enough to steal that first round.
I think Ryan Glover won the first round as well. You could just tell within the opening 10 seconds of the fight that Glover was the more composed of the two. Berube,
yes, a lot of nervous energy, as you were saying, Peter. But, you know, as we were talking about, you know, I think this kid is making his debut. That's going to happen. You know, you got to have to get comfortable in that cage, and the only way to get comfortable is to have some practice, have a little bit of versatility in there. The doors are locked for the start of round 2. They touch gloves.
Berube with the facial hair of the bass player from System of a Down with the head of Bam Bam Bigelow.
Sir. There is no better way to describe that, Peter.
He's a stylish man.
Yes, absolutely. A little bit more relaxed at the start of the second. Very tight with his striking. Ryan Glover lands a right hand, puts him up against the cage. Berube is in trouble. Glover looking to separate and strike. Attacking the body with those uppercuts again. Double underhooks. Maybe a bear hug takedown in the process. Oh, look at that. Looking to get his head underneath the chin of Berube and complete that bear hug. Glover with the uppercuts again. Looking to win this fight with his striking.
Push off, Joe! Get up, Joe!
Ryan Grover taking the front headlock position here. Minute and a half left to go in the second round.
You're good, Joe. Watch it in.
Still working out of that front headlock. Ryan Glover transitioning a little bit of north and south here with some ground and pound. Back to side mount. Takes full mount with the transition.
Very precarious position for Berube.
Pinning down his arms, looking for a ground and pound finish here. Berube looking to buck, but he's not doing much of anything.
Glover not getting too much distance to really rain down those blows, however,
Looks like he's going for the head and arm choke here. He's working to try to pass that elbow across his body. Now he postures. Ryan Glover with some ground and pound here. 30 seconds left in the second round. Stretching Berube out. Ryan Glover with some more ground and pound here to close out the second round. Coming up on 10 seconds left in the second round, folks.
So I've got Glover winning round 2 more convincingly than round 1. If round 1 was up for grabs, I think Glover definitely won round 2.
Glover showing a little bit of arrogance here in between the second round.
I don't know if it's arrogance. I think it's excitement. I think he punctuated a dominant round 2, and I think he's feeling it.
He is definitely feeling it, folks. He's trying to go for that finish. He did a great job of transitioning from position to position there. He was able to work from that front headlock, take a side control position, and ultimately end up in the full mount position where he was able to control the rest of the round. I've got it just like you, Peter, 2-0.
So the bad news if you're Joe Berube is you're down 2-0. The good news is that the game plan for round 3 is to go for broke and slug it out, and that appears to be his game plan anyways.
Absolutely. You know, I think this may be his first or second fight here, and he's just got a lot of nervous energy. He's got a willingness to compete and a willingness to engage, so, you know, you can't teach that, and that's going to take him far. I think he's having a great effort. He's just coming up a little bit short tonight.
He's going to have to lay it all on the line here in round 3. And to his credit, that seems to be what he's been doing from the get-go. Third and final round, Ryan Glover and Joe Berube here in Lewiston.
They touch gloves again. They get the third round underway. Berube back to the nervous energy.
And a left hand from Glover puts Berube on the ground. Now a
He's
barrage
looking for the finish. He's looking for that finish.
Pound.
Steve Reed is going to have to stop this fight here any second. Poor guy is just not intelligently defending himself. He's out.
I think now's the time. There we go. Steve Reed has seen enough. Ryan Glover with a third round stoppage victory here at the Coliseum New England Fights.
TKO.
For those of you that like 2 athletic big men and slugging it out, I think that was a blank view. How round of applause for both men. The end comes in 28 seconds of round number 3. Your winner via verbal submission, Ryan Glover.
Good round of striking here to start. We got Lunghi throwing leg kicks, mixing it in with, oh, double leg takedown. Corson in some trouble here. You got a brown belt in jiu-jitsu securing a takedown in the first 30 seconds. You've got some problems to address here. Devin Corson executing a brilliant weight cut. Looks like a huge 145er tonight. Lunghi securing side mount here. He's out of Tampa, Florida of RMNU Jiu-Jitsu. He secures another reversal. He just seems very comfortable. He takes full mount here and he's got some ground and pound. Devin looking to continue to roll. Shawn Lunghi on the back of Devin Corson. We've got a problem here in the first round. He's looking for that rear naked choke. He's got that in tight, folks. He's got that tight. Almost over. Shawn is looking to end this fight. He taps out. Devin Corson, the loser by submission in the first round. Excellent execution by Shawn Lunghi.
Introducing first fighting out of the group from Toronto. He trains with Kenny's MMA. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenney. And his opponent standing directly across the cage, fighting out of the red corner to my right. He trains with Team Ziehm and Boucher. Ladies and gentlemen,
Super Saturday in Lewiston. Peter Zimmer and Fred Lear calling the action. Spinning back fist attempt from the get-go, courtesy of Kyle Kenney. It missed. That would have been spectacular, though.
I'll tell you what, Peter, I always love seeing my weight class get out here and compete. These guys both look like they've trained hard, they've prepared, and it looks like they're here to put on a show. Cam Arnold, very composed here in the opening round. Had no problem shaking off that spinning back fist. Now looking for a double leg takedown. Inverted double leg. Unbelievable. That looked great. He's looking to secure a side mount right here. He's got him pressed up against the cage. Cam Arnold, excellent job here. I'm loving every bit of this.
He's loving every bit of your commentaries. You can hear it from inside the cage. I can tell by his facial features.
He's going to finish this kid right here. I'm telling you what, he is full of piss and vinegar, and he is not looking to go anywhere.
That was a highlight reel as spectacular as a pro wrestling move you see on Monday night.
I mean, he inverted that kid. He was in on the double leg. He didn't hesitate for a second, and he threw that kid like a rag doll. I feel bad for Kyle Kenney. He's got to be shaking that off here in the last minute and 50 seconds of the first round. Looks like Kyle Kenney's attacking a guillotine from his back. Cam taking his time from side mount, making sure everything is good before he transitions. He takes full mount here, folks. He's in a tight guillotine, attacking the body. He is out of the guillotine, folks, looking to secure that full mount that he's got, and he is laying ground and pound looking for that finish. Minute and 17 left. Cam Arnold laying it on. Staying on top with some brutal ground and pound. I love every bit of this. It's over. Cam Arnold, first round finish here in Lewiston. Kyle Kenney throws his mouthpiece in disapproval.
Excellent performance by Cam Arnold here tonight in Lewiston in this bantamweight bout as the bantamweight amateur champion. NEF watches on, and Fred Lear.
Hey, you know what? That was a great fight. You know, champion or not, that was an excellent fight. Happy for Cam Arnold to take another one home here in his hometown.
The first round TKO. Contest in the bantamweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the Toronto. She comes to us from the Sunshine State of Florida and trains with Team RMNU. Ladies and gentlemen, Amanda Gallo. opposition standing directly across the cage, fighting out of the red corner scoring line. She trains with Lunghi and main fan favorite, ladies and gentlemen, Jayda.
Jayda Bailey taking on Florida's Amanda Gallo.
They touch gloves. We're on.
The physical stature of these girls immediately. Gallo is much taller and has a much longer reach.
Yeah, she's bigger for sure. And you know, Jayda's still just 18 years old. She's not even in her athletic prime yet. You got to understand, she is freshly legal for MMA competition. She's still in high school. But yeah. We've definitely got a fight on our hands. They stay standing. We got a leg kick followed by a right hand. Gallo looks a little bit more nervous, whereas Jayda very comfortable for an 18-year-old with just one fight under her belt. That's what happens when you put in the work training. You know, she has been in the gym for years, and this is nothing new to her. Amanda Gallo with a big right hand.
At the amateur level, I always wonder what the motive is of fighters coming from Florida to Maine for just amateur competition. I have to imagine, just looking at the body language of Amanda Gallo, that she's just a competitor through and through.
Yeah, you know, I love that the New England Fights promotion is able to maintain these relationships with schools and fighters from across the country. It makes it so that the networking is much easier to get fights and get them signed. You know, I love that these guys from Tampa keep coming up to bang. I love it.
Guys and girls, as Amanda Gallo and Jayda Bailey go to war here in round one of the scheduled three-rounder in Lewiston.
Jayda with a nice takedown here. She's got Amanda Gallo back two against the cage. Jayda looking to take full mount. She's got a very tight clinch. She is postured up against the blue corner right next to Amanda Gallo's coaches, John Ortolani. Jayda looking to separate a little bit, posture and strike to show dominance. She's well on her way there. Someone grabbing the cage. You see the referee telling Gallo to stop grabbing the cage. Jayda with a head and arm. Let's see if she's able to finish. She whizzes off, looks to regain composure. Gallo looking for a leg trip takedown, unsuccessful. Jayda throwing strikes.
This has been a very good opening round for Jayda Bailey here in Lewiston. I commented on the difference in physical stature between the two girls to open the round. Jayda Bailey has negated that.
Yes, absolutely. You know, she's here to establish herself. You know, she's made it very clear that this is what she wants to do. She reverses the takedown, whizzer deep. Gallo regains her feet. Jayda's doing an excellent job here. She is the much smaller fighter of the two. Jayda throws Gallo. Knee to the body. They exchange. Jayda left hand to end the round. Gallo throwing after the bell. Just a little nervous energy. Doors are locked. It's a go. Jayda taking the center of the cage immediately. Leg kick to start off. Jayda right in the pocket. Jayda, excellent combination. Gallo, another head kick. She's using that teep here. She's trying to make the best of her range.
Yeah, she has to keep the distance from Jayda Bailey, as we know that Jayda Bailey has gotten the better of the wrestling thus far.
Yes, absolutely. You got to wonder. I feel like Ortolani, being very well versed in the fight game, has probably instructed his fighter to, you know, maintain that distance as much as possible.
She also landed a nice right hand moments ago. She's mixing in punches with kicks.
Jada's cut. This is interesting.
And I don't feel that she's as aggressive as she was in round one as a result of this.
Yeah. Excellent head movement, excellent cage control. Jada's getting tagged up a little bit, but she is responding very well. Body kick. One thing I'm noticing here in the second round, Gallo has got a whole lot of power between a 1 and 2 punch combination followed by a kick. Jayda landing much more volume, throwing maybe four or 5 punch combinations compared to the 1 to 2. As you can see, Jada's pressure here. taking cage control. She's got a left side underhook. Fighting for a knee. They exchange knees. Gallo putting Jayda into the cage here. Jayda's got over-under position. She's going to be looking to regain control. She postures. Puts Gallo right back into the cage, it looks like. Excellent effort here by both competitors. Jayda doing an excellent job here of maintaining cage control. She's going to be looking to posture and keep that frame. We might be seeing another takedown here in just a moment.
Jayda Bailey doing a good job here in the latter part of round 2 of closing the gap between her and Gallo.
Yeah, absolutely. She's doing an excellent job of sticking to the game plan here. And I'd just like to remind the fans at home, this is the 3rd female fight of the evening. Just as a fellow competitor, I love to see the advancement of women's MMA and to see how it's growing and fostering and here in New England.
Well, despite the fact that
they're striking,
you mentioned the cage control of Bailey towards the latter part of round 2, and I mentioned she was able to negate the distance between her and Amanda Gallo. I actually gave round 2 to Amanda Gallo based on the effectiveness of her stand-up in the early portion.
Definitely better use of maintaining that distance, Peter. Absolutely. That's an excellent sign of maturity here in the cage. She's able to listen to the adjustments from her coaches, and as we see here, going into the 3rd and final round, we've got Coach Levi Sewell here, our cut man at Young's MMA, going right to work on Jayda's left eye. Minor cut right under the eye. Jayda's unaffected by it. She is tough as nails. However, Levi needs to get that addressed so that she can continue in the 3rd round with no problems.
And as we're taking a look at the action from the early portion of round 2 on instant replay, in the early go, it was all stand-up from Amanda Gallo.
Yes, absolutely. I agree, Peter.
So on my card, this is even going into round 3. Very interesting fight. Excellent job by matchmaker Matt Peterson tonight of matching all of the fights we've seen thus far, but particularly these women's fights you mentioned. They've been some of the more interesting bouts of the evening.
Oh, absolutely, Peter. And, thank you to Amanda Gallo for coming up all the way from Tampa to fight Jayda. No one in New England wants to fight Jayda, that's for sure. 3rd round, both ladies with a smile on their face. They're getting right after it. Jayda doing an excellent job of negating that head kick, takes the 3rd to the body. Very kick-heavy offense here by Amanda Gallo. Stretched out on her punches, not as comfortable throwing the arm punches. You can see her upper half of the body stiffens up as she goes to throw those techniques. Much more comfortable using her legs to attack. We haven't seen much of an exchange here on the ground from both competitors, which is interesting because Amanda Gallo comes from RMNU, which is a jiu-jitsu heavy school. Jayda Bailey has been training in jiu-jitsu since she was 7 or 8 years old. So it's just very interesting to see that we haven't seen any jits out of the 2 yet.
You talk
all
about
stand and bang.
You talk about the evolution of women's mixed martial arts. Let's just talk about the evolution of mixed martial arts in general. 10 years ago, you didn't see anyone who'd been practicing jiu-jitsu for 10 years outside of the Gracie family. You had the MMA explosion on Spike TV and The Ultimate Fighter about a decade ago. 10 years later, we're seeing the reciprocal effect of that as we have well-schooled fighters in their debuts like Jayda Bailey. Not her debut tonight, but you know what I mean, within her first 5 fights.
Absolutely. Jayda going right after it, looking to pressure Amanda Gallo. She's looking to secure a takedown or show some sort of dominance to show to the judges. This is her fight. She is not going home for the loss here in her home state of Maine. Amanda Gallo doing a good job here of keeping Jayda up against the cage. Looks like she's grabbing the cage again. I don't think the referee necessarily sees it yet, but she's got her hands full of the cage.
Yeah, she was warned for that in round 1. And even though you say Jayda Bailey doesn't want to go home with a loss in her home state, this round is still up for grabs with a little over a minute left to go.
Absolutely. with 60 seconds coming up here, they're going to be going all for nothing. Jayda looking to stick to that game plan. Looks like she's got a right side underhook, left side overhook. She's looking to maintain control. We've got a knee by Amanda Gallo. Jayda eating a lot of these body shots, but now she's throwing hands. Amanda Gallo landing with that kick again. Jayda's throwing. Got 30 seconds left in the final round of this women's MMA bantamweight contest. They clinch, they throw knees, they separate, and they're striking some more. Short time here. Final 10 seconds of the fight. Gallo continuing to stick with that teep kick in her legs. Fight is over.
Very entertaining scrap. Fred, how do you have that one on your scorecard?
You know what, Peter, I'm not gonna sit here and feed you anything that I'm not gonna try to lie to you. Jayda's my teammate. I'm biased. I think she won that fight. I think it was very close.
Really?
I think it was very close. You know, I think it could go either way. I think that it's going to be a split decision victory regardless of who comes away with the victory. The reason I say that is because Jayda was able to really show a little bit of a dominance when in the grappling position for what little time they spent there.
So I'm gonna take a slightly different position here. I have Amanda Gallo winning rounds 1 and 3. I gave Bailey, well, I have it 2 rounds to 1 for Gallo. I think that Bailey did do a good job in the clinch at certain points, but did not inflict any damage within the clinch. She maintained cage control, but I felt the damage inflicted in that fight came more so from Gallo than Bailey. But it's going to be interesting, like you said.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like I said, though, these have been great female MMA fights. Excellent matchmaking by Matt Peterson. I hope to see Jayda prosper. She's going to be continuing her fighting career in New Mexico at the Jackson Wink Complex after completion of her high school career.
I want to run applause for both of you putting all the after the 2 hard rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Shawn, Larry Corson, and Bill McQueen are all in agreement. They see this fight 30 to 27 for your winner. The unanimous decision, Amanda Gallo.
Ladies and gentlemen, Amanda Gallo with a unanimous decision victory here in Lewiston. I'm going to go ahead and call that an upset. She traveled all the way up from Tampa. She hands Jayda Bailey, 18 years old, her first amateur loss. Jayda's going to be back in the cage. She's going to rebound just fine. Amanda Gallo, props to you. Great fight, ladies.
This is 125-pound weight division. Introducing first, fighting up in the blue corner to my left. He comes to us from Preservers MMA. Ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Burgess. And fighting up on the right corner to our right. Featuring the Team C and BJJ. Ladies and gentlemen, Boucher.
Boucher wearing the blue trunks and Burgess wearing the orange trunks. Peter Zimbor and Fred Lear calling the action here from Lewiston, Maine, and it's fast and furious to begin. Nate Boucher, the former standout high school wrestler, scores a takedown.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, Peter. These guys are both standout wrestlers from high school, both from the same school, both incredibly athletic and talented. I'm excited to see them here in NEF 32 competing in Lewiston at the flyweight division. Burgess, a very natural 125er. Nate Boucher making his way down from bantamweight earlier this summer. He debuted against Jeremiah Barkak, putting on a good performance against a 4-time state champion in state of Maine. Never lost a wrestling competition. Nate Boucher comes away victorious. We got a stand-up fight here now. Boucher circles for another takedown. That's 2 takedowns to nothing for Nate Boucher. Burgess on his back.
What is it about the high school wrestling programs you get across the state of Maine that make it so superior to more states than not in the Northeast?
So, to be honest with you, Peter, it started out as a very popular sport here in the state of Maine. A lot of programs across the board. What we've seen over the years is a smaller turnout in terms of programs available. However, the quality of Maine wrestling has slowly but surely increased over the last 5 years. These guys in one hell of a scramble here. Ryan Burgess going for an armbar.
And as he went for that armbar, Boucher lifted him up and dropped him, and he landed more or less head first.
Yeah, this is a good opening round here to this flyweight contest. Burgess on his back still, Boucher taking control. Boucher moves to side mount. Ryan Burgess looking to regain his guard. He's got one butterfly hook, regains his guard. Boucher on top with the blue trunks, as you were saying earlier, Peter.
Look up! Look up!
Burgess looking for a hip-up escape. He's got one butterfly hook. He's looking to take the back of Nate Boucher here. Boucher adjusts and stuffs the leg there in half guard. 30 seconds left here in round one of this flyweight contest. Boucher on top, Burgess on his back.
Posture and strike! Posture and strike!
Ten seconds left, short time here in the first round. Boucher on top.
Isolated arm! Nice, man, nice!
First round over.
Well, Fred, sometimes when you have two former standout amateur wrestlers fighting in the mixed martial arts cage, their wrestling negates each other, and they just stand up and trade. But that necessarily wasn't the case with Boucher and Burgess in round one. We saw a lot of wrestling as we'll take a look at the instant replay.
Yes, absolutely. Boucher doing a good job of keeping Burgess on his back. Like I said earlier, Burgess is a natural 25er. I think he weighed in at 122 with little to no weight cut. Boucher, I know, is a big, strong, growing individual. He's a young kid still. And he fought at 135 earlier this summer. He's making his way down to the flyweight division. I believe that over time, you're going to see Nathan Boucher having a whole lot of success. He's got a gray head on his shoulders. He's eager to win. He's hungry to learn. Burgess, also a good friend of mine. It's exciting to see them compete here tonight.
This is the final amateur bout of the evening here in Lewiston, Maine. Still to come tonight, the professionals. Bruce Boyington takes on Taylor Trahan and Jesse Erickson against Mike Hansen, amongst others. Also, welterweight title on the line, CJ Ewer and Kemran Lachinov.
Yes, like you were saying, CJ's got a chance to make history with the NEF, holding both the pro welterweight and pro middleweight title. He defeated Mike Hansen in Bangor earlier in 2017, and a chance to make history for CJ. Aaron Lacey is probably the fight I'm looking forward to most on the pro card. You know, he's one of my best friends back home. He puts in the work. He has sacrificed so much to be a successful mixed martial arts practitioner, and I just hope he gets the chance to really display his skills tonight. Nate Boucher on another takedown. He's putting on a takedown clinic tonight. That's 3 takedowns. Ryan Burgess, butterfly guard, keeping head position. Just under 2 minutes left here in the second round of this flyweight fight. Oh, Nate Boucher picks up Burgess and clears him. Ryan Burgess attacking another armbar here. He's looking to get his other arm across. Nate Boucher drops him again. Ryan Burgess transitions to a triangle choke.
Oh, he's
Boucher
got
in
that.
trouble. Boucher is in trouble, but still a fight. Nothing secured yet. Ryan Burgess with a triangle choke here on Nathan Boucher.
From our vantage point, it appears he's got it deep.
Very,
but Boucher finds some air.
postures. Boucher is doing everything right here. He's posturing up. He's cutting that corner. This is tight, though.
You're good, Nate.
Ryan Burgess looking to finish that triangle choke from his back here. Nate Boucher is slowly but surely making gains. Ryan Burgess doesn't have it completely locked up, but he's now looking to strike, transitioning to a modified armbar. 42 seconds left in this second round of the fight. Doing everything in his power to finish Nathan Boucher.
Well-matched, skillfully fought fight from both men thus far with less than 30 seconds to go in the second round.
Very interesting. Nate Boucher is doing everything in his power to not leave this fight in the hands of the judges. He is out of the triangle. He tasted defeat earlier in Portland this last card in NEF at the Aura Lounge. Having said that and having watched the fight, I believe he was robbed by the judges.
Yeah,
he controlled all that fight.
He has a bad taste in his mouth about that one.
He's not trying to let this fight go to decision. Second round in the books. Ryan Burgess, excellent effort. Nate Boucher going into his third and final round. Great fight here in Lewiston.
So who'd you give that round to? Because it seemed for a large portion of the round, it was Burgess working the submission and Boucher in a very bad predicament. But there was moments where Boucher had great moments as well.
It's interesting you bring that up, Peter, because honestly, you could make the argument for either or here. Ryan Burgess had him in a triangle for most of that second round. Having said that, he only had him in a triangle from his back. Nate Boucher pressing all of the offense, and at the end of the round, he was able to release himself and really fire back. I'm going to assume that the judges are going to score that one for Ryan. I think we're 1-1 going into the third round here. We got Jason Bell in the corner helping Ryan Burgess fix the technical details on that triangle choke. Matt Probin, the head coach here in the corner of Nate Boucher. Excellent haircut.
Excellent haircut. Matt Probin, also one of my favorite club fighting 4-round boxers in New England the past few years.
He's so talented.
Never in a boring fight.
No, and he's very versatile. He doesn't mind standing and banging. He's a Thai boxer by trade, but he has no problem getting in there for boxing competition here in New England.
Turn him, mate. Gotta turn him.
Ryan Burgess takes Nate Boucher to the corner, looking for his takedown of his own.
Get the underhook.
Ryan Burgess with double underhooks here. Let's see if he does anything with it. Oh, he's looking for a trip, Nate Boucher separating from the cage. He's back in there now. Referee John English making certain neither competitor is grabbing the cage. God, I've been guilty of that several times myself. Easy to do. Boucher bullies Burgess to the ground.
Let your hands go! Handle!
Red corner of Boucher calling for him to posture up and land some ground and pound. Ryan Burgess is on his back again, looking for a way to get up or maybe transition to a submission.
Look up! Posture! Get your head up! Posture up!
Through the midway point of this third and final round here. Both fighters starting to show signs of fatigue. Burgess looking for a very loose armbar. Boucher looking to stack Burgess and get his elbow clear. He's circling. Boucher on top, Ryan Burgess with one butterfly hook.
This is going to be an interesting one when it goes to the judges' scorecards.
Yes, absolutely. They've got 11 seconds left in the fight. Oh, leg lock, last-ditch effort leg lock by Nate Boucher. He's trying to tap out Burgess. Fight's over. Oh, and a mutual sign of respect here. Excellent sign of respect from both competitors. Formal high school teammates. Great fight, boys.
After the 3 hard-fought rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards, and we have a split decision. Judge Shawn sees the fight 29-28 for Burgess. Judge Bill Kenney sees the fight 30-27 for Boucher. Judge Larry Corson sees the fight 29-28 for your winner via split decision. Ryan. With winning this fight, Ryan Burgess has earned him an opportunity to fight for the NEF title at flyweight in June at Oregon against Carlton. Your thoughts on defending your title against this man in June? I'm excited. I I'm excited to do it. The recipient of a blue belt tonight, perhaps the recipient of another belt a few months away. Your thoughts on getting that opportunity with this win? I came in here, I was hoping I could face Dave. This is really tough. Yeah, you're putting me on my back a few times, and I guess it's worth it, but I can't wait to discuss it. I'll be ready for Wyndham versus Burgess in June. How will face off, gentlemen? How will face off, folks? Let's show these gentlemen some love. All right, ladies and gentlemen, right now we're going to have a brief 10-minute intermission. When we return, the professional portion of the card starts. Stick with us here, NEF Super Saturday.
Ladies and gentlemen, for our first professional fight of the evening, we go to the featherweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner to my left. He comes to us from Team Ruthless Boxing and MMA. Ladies and gentlemen, Josh Parker. And his opponent standing directly across the cage, fighting out of the red corner to my right. He trains with Young's MMA. Ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Lacey.
To the professional ranks we go. Featherweight division, Josh Parker and Aaron Lacey, two men who are not strangers whatsoever to New England Fights fans, as we've seen them time and time again here at the Coliseum and at other locations for NEF events. Josh Parker, a respected journeyman veteran. Aaron Lacey, a prospect who was on the rise until he suffered his first loss. He's looking to bounce back from that here tonight.
Yes, Peter, absolutely. So Aaron and Josh Harvey are probably my best friends in the gym, and I'll tell you right now, but something about Aaron Lacey, there's no way for you to train or prepare for someone of his mental fortitude, his grit, and his willingness to compete. This man sacrifices a lot of time and effort to be in the gym doing the things he needs to do to become a better mixed martial artist, and we're going to see something on display tonight. He's not coming home with a loss. I will apologize to the crowd at home. I absolutely have a bias in this fight. This man puts in the time, puts in the work. He's going to get the job done here tonight one way or another.
Josh Parker trains with Ruthless Boxing and MMA. It's a gym that he runs.
It's out of Benton, Maine, I believe. Benton.
I've seldom seen Josh Parker in a boring fight, which means this one should be a good one.
Absolutely. Aaron Lacey with a nice left elbow here. Now that we're transitioning to the pro ranks here at NEF, I want to remind the fans at home, what that means essentially is you're going to see a little bit more allowed for competition. So as you notice, these competitors are now allowed to throw elbow strikes. They're allowed to knee to the head. There's just minor differences that go with being professional as opposed to an amateur, and that's what we're going to notice. Aaron looking for the finish right here. He's going to put Parker away with elbows and strikes. He's attacking the body and attacking the head. Aaron Lacey going for the finish. We're looking at elbows. He's secure in position. He's in his own corner. He's taking his time. We've got 3 minutes left in this first round of the professional ranks here. Another difference, we're looking at 5-minute rounds as opposed to 3-minute rounds. Aaron Lacey on top, laying the ground and pound.
As I was in the cage announcing both fighters, you could see a scar on the top of Aaron Lacey's head, and that was a scar that he suffered in his most recent fight, his loss to Vovka Clay.
Yes, absolutely. You know, let me just tell you right now that loss left a sour taste in Aaron's mouth. He showed up, he prepared. You know, a cut. That's a cut. That's nothing he can do about it. There's no way for him to adjust or acclimate to that type of adversity. It was a doctor's call, and unfortunately, it resulted in his first professional loss. Having said that, Aaron Lacey is the type of individual that is not going to let a loss reroute his career or reroute his destiny here. He is going for the finish against Josh Parker. Parker is in a lot of trouble. He is on his side. Josh Parker known for a particularly very strong guillotine choke. He is known for having a guillotine choke that finishes fights. He finished Derek Shorey earlier in 2017 and looking to rebound against Aaron Lacey, but I don't see that providing any sort of pattern here tonight.
Yeah, round one has been all Aaron Lacey thus far.
One thing that's good, too, is that these are 5-minute rounds. Aaron's doing a good job of being patient, listening to a coaching staff here in the red corner. He's just taking his time and making sure that he is in a dominant position this entire time. He's going to finish this fight when the opportunity presents itself, like right now. Steve Rita is going to have to stop this fight. Parker is not doing anything to defend himself. He's just getting hit.
It was hard for me to see from my vantage point how clean those were landing.
Oh, absolutely. No, Aaron was landing clean, not necessarily powerful, but he's proven his point here. We're going to look for some elbows here. 55 seconds left, just under a minute. Aaron takes the back of Parker. He's got a good ride here. For the folks here at home, I can't say enough about Aaron Lacey. This is the type of kid that you want to root for. This is the type of kid that you want your kids to look up to. He's the type of kid that you want in your gym. He's all-encompassing of what it means to be a good kid.
He's trying to sink in a rear naked choke.
Oh, he's got it. Oh, he's got it. It's over. It's over. He put him out.
He tapped as he was going out.
Yep, you're right.
Dominant performance by Aaron Lacey as he bounces back from his first career loss with a resounding first-round submission win over Josh Parker in Lewiston tonight.
Your winner via submission due to a rear naked choke, Aaron Lacey.
Coming off the whistle here. Zenon Herrera looks pretty calm on his feet. For those of you that are just tuning in, Aaron Lacey coming off of a first-round finish against Josh Parker here to open up the professional ranks here. Zenon Herrera throwing some leg kicks. Nate Charles standing in the pocket.
Nate Charles looking like a boxer, which is interesting because he's got two professional boxing matches, and a nice right hand drops Herrera.
Absolutely. Oh, but Zenon Herrera rebounds very well, gets a takedown, ends up in side mount. Oh, Nate Charles with a backwards reversal. Interesting change of events here. Looks like Zenon's looking for a knee bar here. Looks to knee bar Nate Charles. Nate Charles is in trouble, landing some serious power to the body of Zenon Herrera. Attacking that arm so that he's not in knee bar danger. Oh, he gets his knee back. He takes, oh, he's out. Very good job by Nate Charles there. Peter, it's interesting you bring up the boxing background in Nate Charles because he had an opportunity to land quite a kick to the body and ended up choosing to throw the right hand instead.
Yeah, between them they have 5 professional boxing matches actually.
Really? I did not realize that Nate Charles was a professional boxer.
He fought Bruce Boyington to a 4-round decision in October 2014 here at the Coliseum in a boxing match, and then fought a journeyman veteran boxer named Antonio Chavez Fernandez last summer.
God, that just sounds like a loss, huh? That sounds like a way to lose a boxing match. Oh, big takedown by Zenon Herrera.
He did well in that fight until the stoppage occurred.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Zenon Herrera on top. Nate Charles going to pull him close to his chest, not allow him any distance to inflict any damage.
Zenon Herrera in full mount right now. We're still with 2 minutes and 35 seconds left of the first round. Again, for the fans at home, just a brief distinction of the differences between professional and amateur MMA here. 5-minute rounds as opposed to 3-minute rounds. We're allowed to elbow strike to the head. We're allowed to elbow strike, period. And we're allowed to knee to the head as well. So there's a little bit of a difference in terms of rules. You're going to see a little bit more action here. Zenon Herrera maintaining full mount here with Nate Charles. Looking to posture and strike. Nate Charles trying to buck Zenon off. Switches position. Zenon Herrera getting dropped by Nate Charles. Nate asking for a stand-up. They touch gloves. Oh, we got the first kick of the evening from Charles. Oh, big right hand finds its home again by Nate Charles. Knee to the head from Zenon Herrera. We've got a single leg shot. Zenon Herrera looking to elevate and score a takedown. Nate Charles defending with a Kimura overhook. Both fighters making adjustments up against the cage. Just over a minute here left. Big takedown by Zenon Herrera.
This is going to be an interesting round to score.
Oh, absolutely. Peter, I would have to give it to Zenon with the repeated takedown success. He's maintaining position. He's not landing a whole lot of damaging strikes, but he is definitely in control of this round.
Zenon Herrera coming off one of his better performances in years when he lost to John Rayo by 3rd-round submission at the Ewer nightclub a few months ago. I had that fight even going into the 3rd round.
I honestly did not get a chance to see that. I'm surprised that John Rayo let someone like Zenon Herrera hang around. Not to take anything away from Zenon Herrera's training or success, but he has yet to have a win in the professional ranks.
And
looking for his first right now with a very tight anaconda choke. Nate Charles in trouble here.
And if this
Transitions to a guillotine. Transitions to a guillotine. Zenon Herrera looking for his first win.
If this round wasn't questioned, Zenon Herrera is punctuating it here at the end of round 1.
Transitions to an anaconda at the very end. Zenon Herrera looking for his first win as a professional. Round is over. Very close. I give that round to Zenon Herrera. Very good round.
In Lewiston, Maine. Nate Charles with an extended layoff from the cage, having a tough go in round 1 against Zenon Herrera, who really finished the round strong. And had that round been 10 seconds longer, it's very likely Zenon Herrera could have finished off Nate Charles.
Yes, absolutely. I thought it was very interesting that Zenon was able to transition from an anaconda choke back to a guillotine, back to the anaconda, depending on the position he was in. He's having a great performance so far this evening. And I would like to remind everyone back at home, Nate Charles coming off of a 3 to 4 year hiatus from mixed martial arts competition. Zenon Herrera with 2 leg kicks to open up the second round. Goes for a shot. It's stuffed.
Nate Charles landed a right hand, then looked at the ref as if to say, did I do something illegal? Which
Another right hand. Zenon Herrera acknowledged that. Oh, big shot. Looking for a dump. Takedown up against the cage right by Peter and myself.
I'm telling you right now, you can see the boxing training that Nate Charles did over the summer for that fight. Because when they get to the ground, Zenon is having success. But when they stand up, Nate Charles has landed right hands repeatedly.
I agree.
And he's bouncing around, too, like a boxer.
He's much more comfortable standing up here. Zenon Herrera looking for another takedown. If he keeps exposing himself there, he's looking for a call for a back of the head. Honest to God, that was a clean strike.
And I'll tell you something right now that's a pet peeve of mine that Nate Charles shouldn't be doing right now. He's landing punches. The ref is not stepping in to say there's anything wrong with the punches, but when Zenon acknowledges it, he looks to the ref as if to say, should I stop? If the ref doesn't jump in, you keep throwing punches.
I agree, Peter, absolutely. You know, that's just, I feel as though that's a little bit of cage rust showing from Nate Charles. You know, it's not a lack of talent or
spinning
training.
back fist by Zenon. And I like the sportsmanship from Nate. I'm just saying, you got to compete.
I agree 100%.
You got 15 minutes. You got to compete for all 15 minutes, to paraphrase what Bill Belichick would say if he was an MMA coach.
Oh, my God. What are you thinking about tomorrow's Super Bowl?
I'm thinking Patriots by 3.
Patriots by 3.
They
Wow.
never make it easy.
They never make it easy.
Never
right.
do.
Zenon Herrera going for another takedown. Ends up on the bottom half of full mount by Nate Charles. Transitioning to half guard. Nate Charles on top. Second round. We've got a little bit of blood coming out of the nose of Zenon Herrera. We've got an excellent fight here. Ladies and gentlemen, Josh Harvey in attendance tonight. He is looking incredibly well this evening. Can't wait to see him make his return to the cage after rehabbing that left knee of his. He looks good.
Last time we saw him, or maybe not the last time, but we saw him in the cage against Zenon Herrera 2 summers ago in
Yes,
Bangor.
absolutely. Zenon Herrera showed a lot of heart against Josh Harvey. I'll tell you what, he fought Josh on 2 days' notice. You got to be clinically insane to fight Josh Harvey, period, end of story. But on 2 days' notice, that's amazing.
Herrera on top, Nate Charles on the bottom. Nate Charles is actually having himself a pretty good second round until he found himself in this current predicament.
Nate Charles on bottom. Looks like he's getting a little bit of his wind back. Looking to transition. Maybe get a... Oh, nope. Sweep opportunity prevented right there. Just under 2 minutes left here in the second round. Elbow. Oh, Zenon Herrera transitions to an armbar. He's got it.
Oh my God, I think he does have it. I think he has it. I think you saw Nate Charles considering tapping.
Yes, you did, my friend. He has got an opportunity to finish this fight. Very incorrect finish, but nonetheless, the pressure is there. Looks like Nate Charles has fought off the armbar, but he is still in full mount. Zenon Herrera with an opportunity to finish this fight with just over a minute left in the second round. We'll see what happens here.
He's going for it again, but Nate Charles rolls with it.
Yes, it looked like he was using the armbar as a setup for a triangle choke, but Nate Charles is very savvy and saw that coming. Now looking for a TKO finish of his own. Zenon Herrera looking for an ankle lock. Nate Charles with a hammer strike. Nate Charles needs to pass that guard.
It looked like he was going for a sharpshooter for a moment.
Does look like a sharpshooter. I don't know if that's Nate Charles or Sting in there. Zenon Herrera attacking the ankle. Nate Charles signaling that there's no real dangerous pressure. However, there's a lot of torque on that knee. That is a lot of torque. He grabs an ankle of his own, looking for a scramble situation. He's beating his ass literally and figuratively.
But I'll tell you right now, I've got Zenon ahead at 2 rounds to none.
Yo, Peter, I agree with you. That's a 2-round nothing Zenon Herrera. Let's see if his cardio holds up in this professional lightweight fight.
And as I mentioned earlier, in his most recent fight against John Rayo, even going into the 3rd. Now we have it 2 rounds to nothing for Zenon Herrera. He finished round 1 very strong. I don't think there's any way you could have Nate Charles winning round 1.
No, I agree with you.
Round 2, he had some really good moments standing up in the beginning, landing right hands. I just don't think he finished strong, and I think that Zenon going for those submission attempts through the latter part of round 2 is going to get him the nod.
Yes, I agree with you, Peter. This is the thing. Nate is having glimpses of success here in this fight, but that's all they are, is glimpses of success. He's got a right hand that is finding its home.
Is it that cage rust?
Oh, maybe.
Because he's not able to sustain the success
I will tell you right now that it has to be some degree of cage rust, because to take a 4-year hiatus from fighting, not boxing, but fighting, and then come in and hop right into your first professional bout against a seasoned veteran journeyman of Zenon Herrera's capacity. You know, he hasn't had a win yet, but that doesn't mean he's not getting in the cage.
But
that says something.
But here's another thing. Zenon Herrera's been in very tough. He's had no walk in the park against anyone he's been in against with. You get better by fighting good fighters.
I agree with you, Peter. He's in on a single leg here, transitions to a body lock. Nate Charles fights off the body lock. They're up against the cage in the blue corner. And I agree with what you're talking about in terms of Zenon Herrera not having an easy draw ever.
Nice right hand again by Nate Charles.
He's finding a home for it. Another kick. Oh, my goodness. He stops the takedown. Let's see what happens here. Zenon Herrera concedes to his back. Nate Charles attacking the guillotine. Elbows to the body. Oh, hard elbows to the body. Zenon Herrera transitions to a single leg. It goes back to the body lock, secures the takedown. Zenon Herrera holding top position, not doing a whole lot with it, but maintaining control. Now, immediately following this lightweight bout, we have got CJ Ewer and Kemran Lachinov from Team Link out of Ludlow, Mass. That fight, highly anticipated professional title fight this evening. CJ Ewer looking for opportunity to make history with the NEF promotion, holding 2 belts at once.
He could be the Conor McGregor of NEF.
He could be the Conor McGregor of NEF.
With not as much money.
That's true, unfortunately. We're looking at just under the midway point here. Zenon Herrera looking to finish with an Americana lock. Nate Charles fights that off. 2 minutes, 24 seconds left in the round. Shoulder strike.
Nate Charles has got a little over 2 minutes to do something drastic. Otherwise, if this goes to the cards right now, I think Zenon Herrera is walking away with the win.
I agree with you, Peter. Zenon Herrera's corner is looking for him to move to the head and arm choke. Zenon Herrera trying to clear that elbow past his head, as we're seeing right now. If he's able to get his head in the proper position, he's able to finish this fight. Nate Charles looking for a reversal. Zenon Herrera attacking the body. For the folks at home, Nate Charles is in the yellow and black RDX trunks. We're looking at Zenon Herrera in the all black title trunks. Elbow to the body from Zenon Herrera. Competitors are both in half guard, looking with 1 minute remaining in the round. Zenon Herrera transitions to full mount. Let's see what he does with it.
Well,
got the crowds booing.
All likelihood is this is going to the scorecards, and
yeah, absolutely.
I've got a shutout win for Zenon Herrera.
Yeah, you know what, Peter? I agree with you, my friend. You know, it's unfortunate that the crowd is unable to appreciate the efforts of these individuals.
Let's be real. It was one idiot. So forget that. That was a good fight from two men who I really like personally. Zenon Herrera and Nate Charles put it all on the line.
Absolutely.
Zenon Herrera, a journeyman who's fought anyone, everyone, anytime, anywhere for years. And Nate Charles, a guy who hasn't fought inside the cage in about 3 or 4 years, coming back to take on a guy that's willing to take on anyone. I commend them both.
Absolutely, Peter. I think Zenon Herrera is going to come away with his first professional victory this evening.
We'll get the scorecards from the judges after this 3-round fight, as we'll tell Catie to get out of the ring with the 4-rounder.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about a round of applause for both men putting it all on the line for 3 hard-fought rounds tonight. After 3 hard-fought rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge McKinnon sees the fight 30-27. Judge Mellon and Corson see the fight 29-28 for your winner via unanimous decision, Zenon Herrera.
Ladies and gentlemen at home, we've got Zenon Herrera with his first professional MMA victory here tonight against Nate Charles. Congratulations, Zenon. You've been putting in your time. You've been a journeyman here with the NEF promotion, and you've got yourself your first professional win. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next fight is scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds for the vacant NEF Welterweight Championship. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner to my left. He trains with Team Link. Ladies and gentlemen, a warm NEF welcome for Kemran Lachinov. And his opponent, standing directly across the cage, fighting out of the red corner to my right. He is the reigning NEF middleweight champion, and tonight he tries to make history by becoming the first ever fighter in New England fights to hold 2 professional championships simultaneously. From Young's MMA, ladies and gentlemen, CJ Ewer.
Welterweight championship time. CJ Ewer taking on Kemran Lachinov. CJ Ewer wearing the United States trunks. Lachinov wearing the red trunks with the white and black trim. CJ Ewer, the reigning NEF middleweight champion, dropping down in weight tonight, trying to become the first fighter in NEF history to simultaneously hold 2 professional titles. He ate a right hand, but back on his feet and was going for a takedown. I'll tell you right now, I like the ground game of CJ Ewer in this fight and the stand-up of Kemran. How's that?
Absolutely. I mean, CJ responding very well to that right hand, looking for that takedown. He's got a knee to the head, right hand underhook right here. We've got a hell of an opening round here. CJ's still rocked, but he's still going. Kemran Lachinov working from a front headlock position, landing some strikes, but nothing of significance. He's got a front headlock, looking for a guillotine. CJ kicks to the head. We're reset here in the stand-up. Oh, CJ inside trip, looking to score a takedown. He's got a single leg. He's got to elevate and finish. Oh, we've got a takedown. CJ on top here. Lachinov trying to roll over. CJ maintaining control. He's got to fight through this armbar attempt. Lachinov's got an arm bar.
Nice left hands running down from CJ Ewer.
CJ's looking to elbow. CJ takes the back. CJ has the back of Lachinov. Let's see what he does here. Lachinov rolls through. He's looking for an ankle lock. Knee bar transition. Nothing.
And a big ovation for CJ Ewer when he came out, but chance of Kemran coming from the far side of the arena during this fight. Both men have fan bases.
Yes, absolutely. You know, Ludlow, Mass, they've got one hell of a gym down there at Team Ludlow. They're not going to show up anywhere without a fan base. CJ's in trouble here, but he's going to respond accordingly. He's going to look to kick out of this leg hold.
He's looking to return the favor.
He's got his own. He's got his own right here. They're in a stalemate here. I'm going to see if referee John English lets these guys stand back up. Lachinov looking to heel hook CJ. Oh, transitions to a knee bar. Oh, we got a quick tap. Quick tap. CJ in a knee bar, tapped out.
Kemran Lachinov, the new NEF welterweight champion.
Good show of display of sportsmanship here by both combatants.
Your winner via submission due to a knee bar and new NEF welterweight champion, Kemran "Killer" Lachinov.
Good evening, guys. I just want to thank God. God is number one. Then all of you fans, special thanks to my family, my coach, my brothers, everyone, thank you. Without you guys, fans, this sport wouldn't exist ever. And I want to say alhamdulillah. Thank God for everything. Thank you guys. Either you love me or you love my opponent. Thanks a lot to my opponent. He has a big heart. He has a freaking good wrestling and he's strong. Thank you guys.
Kemran "Killer" Lachinov, NEF welterweight champion. Ladies and gentlemen, our next contest is a grudge match scheduled for 3 rounds in the middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner to my left. He comes to us from Berserkers MMA. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike the Mustache Hansen. And his opponent standing directly across the cage, fighting out of the red corner to my right. He comes to us from Team CMBJJ. Ladies and gentlemen, Jesse, the Viking Erickson.
And Jesse Erickson. This one's scheduled for 3 rounds in the middleweight division. It was originally supposed to be a catchweight contest more towards welterweight. But I got to tell you right now, from the moment that was announced, I said to myself, I don't know how Mike Hansen's going to make welterweight, seeing as how he struggled to make middleweight in the past.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more,
There
Peter.
was a beef over weight in the past week. They settled on the weight. They're fighting here tonight.
Yes, sir. And I'll tell you what, this is a very highly anticipated bout this evening based on the feud that occurred on social media. Having said that, you know, these are both well-known professional fighters in Maine. Mike Hansen with a little bit of a different story, a little bit of a different background. Jesse Erickson, I'm a big fan of him as a person. You know, I've trained with him several times. You couldn't ask for a nicer guy. And I really admire the growth and the strides that he's made in this sport, you know. He's just an excellent athlete, all-around good guy. You want to see him have some success.
When this fight was announced, Mike Hansen proposed a bet that the loser would get to tattoo the other with a tattoo of their choosing.
Oh, Jesus, how bad would that be? Oh, my gosh. The last thing I would ever want is Mike Hansen with a tattoo gun and the opportunity to do whatever he wants. That's terrifying.
Jesse Erickson declined the bet, but Hansen offered.
I mean, respectfully so. You know, Jesse Erickson has got a good head on his shoulders. He's not going to make that kind of wager. And one interesting note that I've noted from Mike Hansen's professional career, all of his fights have ended at the conclusion of the first round. Have you realized that? Never made it past the first round, so
He's
I'm
got
interested
5
to see
minutes.
what happens. He's got 3.5 minutes left, and it looks like Jesse's got a very tight arm-in guillotine. Let's see if he's able to finish with that butterfly hook. Looking like he's wanting to transition a little bit more toward full mount here, but
Last we saw Mike Hansen was in a losing effort to CJ Ewer in a middleweight title fight in Bangor last summer.
yes, that was a hell of a night for Young's MMA. Oh my gosh. My favorite fight of that night was without a doubt Ryan Sanders locking up that triangle choke against Jay Ellis.
It wasn't your fight?
Yeah, you know what?
That was your favorite fight of the night. Shut up. Stop being humble.
Oh, come on. You got to be honest, man. The only reason I have success is because of the teammates that make me better. But no, seriously, everyone counted Ryan out after the first 30 seconds of that fight, and then he locked up that triangle. We all know where that was going. Jesse Erickson looking with some uppercuts here. Mike Hansen with a single leg. Does not finish. Jesse Erickson with the back. Looking for a bulldog choke. Mike Hansen's in trouble. Slowly suffocating here.
That's it. He's out.
He's out.
He says to referee John English that
No,
he wasn't
he's out.
I saw his body go limp.
Your winner via submission Jesse the Viking Erickson. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your New England Fight Super Saturday main events of the evening, 3 rounds in the lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner to my left. He comes to us from Team Link, an NEF veteran who tonight enters the professional cage for the 14th time. Ladies and gentlemen, Taylor Trahan. And his opponent standing directly across the cage, fighting out of the red corner to my right. Tonight, a homecoming of sorts. He trains with Young's MMA and Boyington's Taekwondo. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back the former NEF lightweight champion, Bruce the Pretty Boy Boyington. 3 rounds, lightweights.
Bruce Boyington, former NEF lightweight champion. His opposition tonight, Taylor Trahan. It's been a few years since we saw Bruce Boyington in the MMA cage here in Maine. He's been fighting for some fairly elite organizations, World Series of Fighting, where he picked up a few wins over Rodrigo Almeida and Saul Almeida.
Yes, sir, absolutely. Bruce is a phenomenal athlete. You know, you can't take anything away from the fact that he is incredibly gifted in his discipline of Taekwondo. As a matter of fact, he's also got an iron chin and an iron will. Anyone that has seen Bruce fight before knows that that is no question, and he takes top position right here. Taylor Trahan, a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu out of Team Link in Massachusetts. No joke on the ground. You know, he's a legitimate opponent. He's got he's had a little bit of a tough time with his professional MMA career, but that does not take anything away from his skill set.
Well, we've seen him victorious here in New England Fights.
Yes, sir, absolutely. I believe his last victory came at the expense of Matt Denning. Not 100% certain on that, but I believe that Matt Denning was his last win up here.
That would be his NEF win for sure.
Yeah, Bruce Boyington here taking top position. He's looking to land some elbows. Taylor Trahan looking to transition out. He is unable to do so. Bruce looking like the much bigger and stronger competitor here. He's got to pass that guard.
I think the best fight I've ever seen in an NEF cage here at the Coliseum, Bruce Boyington's war with John Lemke.
That was an absolute war, my friend, and I'll tell you right now, that fight had to have taken years off of both competitors' life, because I'll tell you right now, 25 minutes of an absolute brawl, and I mean brawl, just short of a hurricane. Taylor Trahan now working off of his back up against the cage in the red corner. Bruce listening to Chris Young's instructions here. Not working off of his top, but he lands a very clean elbow to the head right there. Maintaining that top control. Taylor Trahan looking to isolate the left arm. He's cut on his forehead. That elbow cut him, and it is bleeding.
And that blood is trickling down.
Yes, absolutely. Bruce opened him right up there with that cut. Now he's attacking the body and then back to the head. Trahan needs to do something here from the guard position because this fight's going to get stopped here.
Now it's over the left eye, but it's well over the left eye from my vantage point.
It's top, so Taylor's got a little bit of a long haircut going on, but when Bruce came across and landed that flush elbow with his right elbow, I believe it cut him just in a manner that is going to open up, and it's only going to continue to get worse as this fight progresses.
I'm trying to tell if it's adversely affecting his vision from the vantage point I have, and I just can't tell.
You know what? Maybe not yet, but as the fight goes on, this is not going to get any better, and I hope they have a good cut man in that corner because this is not going to be an easy, adverse task for Trahan to deal with. Oh, another elbow. We've got just under a minute here left in the opening round of their main event of the evening. Taylor Trahan is covered in his own blood. Bruce Boyington looking to open up here. Working out of the guard position. Oh, another elbow. Boyington looking for a finish. Coach Young telling Bruce to continue doing what he's doing. Aaron Lacey also working the corner for Bruce Boyington. He looks incredibly happy coming off of a dominant performance over Josh Parker this evening. Couldn't be happier for Aaron Lacey. Ten seconds left in the opening round of the evening. Boyington looking to compete.
So right now, a good homecoming so far for Bruce Boyington.
Yes, that's a very dominant first round for Bruce. He's not even tired. He's covered in Taylor's blood. He's going to continue to get after it.
Taylor Trahan comes out like a ball full of energy, but finds himself on his back rather quickly. Bruce is going to let him stand up. He's a Taekwondo guy. He likes to stand up.
Leg kick from Bruce Boyington. Oh, spinning back kiss. That's his staple technique. We've seen him knock out many of an opponent with that. Now, we got another takedown by Bruce. Working out of the guard again for the start of round 2. 4 minutes, 20 seconds left in the round. Bruce Boyington continuing to attack the body here in the second round of the main event of the evening. Bruce is on top, working out of the full guard. Taylor Trahan on his back, working with a pretty profuse cut over his left eye.
Yeah, Taylor Trahan's upper body is like a shade of orange now from all that blood.
Yeah, I feel bad. It's got to be tough to continue. Bruce Boyington just scoring points and on points here. Taylor not doing much off of his back here. Oh, short elbow. Bruce is certainly the crowd favorite here this evening, making his comeback to the NEF promotion shortly after being cut by the PFL.
Formerly known as the World Series of Fighting.
Yes.
While competing for that promotion, he got to fight at some fairly prestigious fight venues, Foxwoods Casino, Madison Square Garden, the theater.
Oh my gosh, unbelievable opportunity for Bruce. And if we're being honest, he showed up to compete every single time under that venue and under that promotion. He did them a lot. We've got Matt Denning here, cage side. Looks like he is enjoying the show, getting ready for his return to the cage on April 14th in Portland.
Taking on Bill Jones, who said that he does not believe in Matt Denning's retirement.
Oh, retirement. Those are strong words.
Well, Matt Denning says it's going to be his final fight. Bill Jones says, no, it's not. He'll come back. Which, to tell you the truth, most of the time they always come back.
Of course, it's all about the money. You know that.
Sometimes it's just in your blood, too.
That's the truth. I'm very excited for the previously announced bout that evening. I believe it's Taylor Constantino versus Shawn Lunghi for the amateur featherweight championship. That's going to be a barn burner.
Are you looking to move up in weight, perhaps?
Oh my God, absolutely not. I'm 5'6" on a good day.
Okay, all right.
Just because I'm fat doesn't mean I shouldn't move up in weight. Oh my goodness. Bantamweight is where I belong until we reach a higher level, and then we might have to entertain the flyweight division.
Well, it's been another dominant round for Bruce Boyington here in round two.
He's just sticking to his bread and butter. You know, he had a lot of success in that first round from working out of the guard position. I believe he's going to continue to do that, continue to chip away at the will of Taylor Trahan and come away with another victory pending some sort of unforeseen circumstances this evening. If that cut worsens, we could see a doctor's or referee stoppage here soon. I mean, John English is no slouch. He's going to make sure that everything is in accordance. Bruce landing some more ground and pound. 10 seconds left in the second. End of the second round. I've got 2-0 Bruce.
I don't think there's any other way you could possibly have it. As a matter of fact, let's talk about the 10-point must scoring system for a moment.
Yes, absolutely.
One of my pet peeves with the 10-point must scoring system in mixed martial arts as opposed to boxing, where it's also used, is that a 10-8 round is clearly defined in boxing if there's a knockdown scored.
Yes.
In MMA, it really isn't. You could have those as 10-8 rounds. As a matter of fact, I think that at least one of them has to be.
I mean, I would agree with you. Why would you say that it is not? Unfortunately, Taylor Trahan is not making the best use out of his best skill set. I mean, he's a brown belt in jiu-jitsu out of Team Link, and he's not doing anything to try to submit Bruce. He's just trying to stay alive.
Bruce coming out as a southpaw.
Oh, wow. That's the one thing that's very interesting about fighting a Taekwondo fighter of the capacity of Bruce Boyington. You feel safe at distance, but that's when you're at most vulnerability, because then he is able to gauge how to hit you and how to effectively move his position and advance the way he wants to. He's looking to take the back right here. We'll see what happens here. He's got a figure four of the body, not attacking the neck just yet, but now he's slowly starting to transition. He's got the figure four locked in. Trahan doing everything he's supposed to avoid the choke, but he's getting beat on. Bruce looking to finish this fight. Bruce has got a rear naked choke.
I think that's going to be all she wrote. And it is.
He submits a brown belt. Congratulations to Bruce Boyington and his successful return.
I'll be giving the official particulars of the finish in just a few moments, but before I do that, I just want to thank you, Fred, for joining me on this broadcast all night.
Hey, Peter, thank you for your patience. This is my first time out here. I was incredibly nervous, but how much fun was that?
It was a lot of fun. We also want to thank Alex, our director and producer tonight, doing a fantastic job from the coal fields of West Virginia to Maine.
Welcome to Maine, my friend.
Thank you, Alex.
I think it's safe to say he won't be back until summertime.
We'll get the official particulars of the finish momentarily before we sign off.